Action. Well, she's fired, she runs, but she's full of mushrooms. The shrooms! Shrooms! Woo! Side by side for the first time. Project Bramble begins. Here we are. It's out, running. Just needed the points filing down. They were just seized up. We're back. Ravages of time. Mushrooms are taken over. We're going to get it into the garage. Here's the plan. This is a quick video. I always say it's a quick video, don't I? Every time, and it never ends up being a quick video, does it? But it's got to be a quick video. This is just a prequel. It is not part one of episode Bramble. This is the prequel. This is the warm-up film, just to let you know that in March, mid-March, we start the strip down. But for now, we're going to have a little bit of a quick clean-up and a first initial inspection. Let's get Bramble into the garage. Let's get this film uploaded to whet your appetites. Let's get them mushrooms out. Okay, so not a lot changed. If you've ever been on the channel and you've been watching all the stuff, you'll know this car does actually run, believe it or not. If you haven't watched the videos and you're new to the station, join me in the cabin. Quick look round the cabin. State of play as at March 2018. Oh no, we're still in Feb. The videos are starting in March. The prequel for Feb will come into the end of Feb. I think we're on the 22nd of Feb today. So here we go, battery charged up and points filed down, and then we just see pump the accelerator, get the petrol through, and it started. Clock sprung into life. The car does not want to die, I can tell you that much. Listen to this for a motor if you've never seen it on the clips. There are other clips of this car. Oh, so we fire up. State of play. Okay, let's lock ourselves in. Let's have a look at the situation. Damage report, everyone. Let's get locked in. Right, what I'm going to do, we're going to go round, quick check, see what the state of play is, get the car dried out, ready for stripping. So we're going to park it, both cars in the garage side by side, and then with a gentle heat let it just dry out for a few days, because now Ruby's all cleaned up and waxed. Ruby just has a little rest and this can dry out next to it. So that's the plan. So okay, what we got, 1971 two-door Mk3 GXL, late 71, still on a K, but with the later wheels, which were just on the changeover point where they became permanent. So yeah, they're correct wheels for the car. Two-door GXL Auto. Silver Fox was the original colour. You can see the silver here underneath that. It's had a respray. Silver was notorious for peeling off, so a lot of them were repainted. I just scrape that off. There's Silver Fox underneath. We'll see that throughout. Okay, so as you can see, damp's been in here big time. We need to start cleaning it up. The name of the game is just to get most of the debris out of here as best we can. That's the name of the game, that's the plan. It's a hoover out job, and basically what I'm trying to do is just to make it easier when I strip it, that stuff's not going all over the place, and just really to give it some respect and clean it up a little bit. Okay, yeah, the whole shell's gone, but when I start stripping it, I don't want to keep dragging gunge, mushrooms, moss and gunk all over the place inside. Outside's not as bad. But we're going to be taking off all the trim parts. We've got bubble wrap and bags, lock bags, cardboard boxes, bubble wrap, everything to start taking the car to pieces and labelling each piece up. For example, we'd take this chrome strip off, bubble wrap it and label that up in a pack, in a tube pack, along with the rest of the rear quarter pieces as well. And then we'd just start taking off the arch trims, the badges, all that. Door handles come off. All these cappings need to be saved. These are unique to two-door. Some very rare chrome items around here we've got to be careful of. These corner pieces, be careful of. These C-pillar trim pieces, different than, although I have got one of them actually, but different than 4 doors, it's longer. The chrome around the windows you know about, we mentioned that on other films. Turning ourselves from the exterior trim to the interior, then we'd take out the seats first. What we would do with the seats, take out the seats, then strip the seats as well. Take off each component and wrapping it. These are very susceptible to damage in storage. These plastic things can break the centre post, the retaining posts off. Careful there. The seat frame itself, that's not too bad, and we're not too worried about the trim because that gets redone. Then obviously we get further into the car, start taking out all the dash components and stuff like that. Okay, so the first part of Project Bramble, episode 1, will be the strip, what's called the strip down, or strip down might take 2 or 3 films to be fair. It's going to be quite a big job. The strip down of Swampy and Ruby weren't as detailed as this is going to be, so this will be quite a detailed strip down. Then we'll start to get closer and closer to the body shell, and then it's engine and box out and axle off, and that may be done at the workshop when we move into a new workshop. But this kind of job can be done in here as long as I keep cleaning up. It's going to be messy and important to label up. So let's take you around the car because this video's just coming to a close, just a bit of fun. So round the car so you can see what we're up against. I'll take you in the engine bay in a minute. I've already removed the front chrome surround, started on that. Round we go, show you the boot, what's left of it. Round we go, trying to move slow. Again, as I said, a lot of this stuff is already on YouTube, on the other Bramble videos. There's a Silver Fox, again you see it in the corner. Once all this junk is out of here, we can start looking at the damage to the shell. It's extensive and will be probably a lot worse than even it looks now. It looks bad now. We know the roof's got to come off. This is a full shell rebuild. Show you the engine bay. Funnily enough, the bulkhead is in good shape considering. I'm not saying it's the best bulkhead in the world, but you would think it'd be worse than this. Intact in all the right places, especially behind that heater box. When the bonnet's off, we'll be able to see a bit better in here. Engine runs very well. Someone looked after that. How it survived, I don't know. I did change the engine oil. and the oil filter when we did this. This car was taken to a few car shows, running as it is now, so we gave the engine a little mini service. One of the reasons why it starts quite good is well, the points were seized, or points were pitted, rusted. Not been run for at least 6 months, maybe a year. The remains of Bramble in the front. Of the Brambles in the front, they'd taken over the whole car. What I'll do, I'll put a link to the end of this clip showing us pulling this out, in case you've not seen it. Because as I say, a lot of my regular viewers, they're okay and they know the history, they've seen the films. People just join in, there's a lot of new people joining, just coming into the Cortina City YouTube site, and maybe not know the history on this car. Come out of a field in Tewkesbury, last on the road in '83. I say Cape Reg. What makes it rare is the colour and the spec. Silver Fox wasn't on many Cortinas. Red interior wasn't on many Cortinas. So you've got red and silver colour combo. The ruby red interior as fitted to ruby. Silver Fox paint. Then two-door, which makes it a little bit rare, because two-door on a GXL you don't see very often. They are out there, but I don't think they've made very many. Certainly mustn't have made many in silver with a ruby interior on GXL. And even more, not many on auto. So you get all those rare combos together in this car. 2 litre, auto, two-door, Silver Fox, ruby interior, and then the crossover point of the wheels, just on the verge where they went to before the Ross styles were phased out, and then they went on to all sports, or Ford Sports wheels. 2 litre, 344 axle. I think I counted it was a 344. I'll double check that. If not, it's a 375 axle. Stood in the field since '83. I got it out a couple of years ago with the intention of restoring it once Ruby had been done. Funnily enough, Ruby came in because I couldn't get hold of this car, and then as soon as I bought Ruby, then they said this car's now available for sale. But I'd already started Ruby, and I didn't want to have Ruby half finished and start on this one. It's deadly doing things like that. It's hard enough just doing a resto when you're up against it. I mean, I'm lucky in some respects. There's some real hardcore restorers out there, maybe not as difficult as this, although there are some bad ones out there too, worse than this. If you look around YouTube, you'll see there's a few restos going on. So that's the state of play. I'm going to get cleaning. Let's get this dried up. Let's get cleaning. I'll give you a quick clip of the first clean up, then we're out of here. This video's going live. See you in a bit. We all know it won't be a short clip, don't we? You know me better than that. I never end up with short clips. Okay, it's Hoover first. Look at all that. I've brought the light in now a bit better for you. So Bramble, Project Bramble, there it is. First time undercover properly. I'll walk around. There's that Silver Fox. That rare Silver Fox that we're going to love. Just imagine the paint job on this when we've done this. It's a big job. Let's not underestimate or fool ourselves. It's huge. Time stood still in the boot there. Maybe the first job would be to vac out the boot. Should we do that? Should we just clean the boot up? Not that it's going to be the same boot by the time we've finished. What we could do is just making it neat. Purpose of it is just to make life easier when I'm stripping the car. I want to try and make it as clinical as I can. That's all really I'm doing this for. A lot to do. We need them carpets out, we need the seats out. But look, just look at this. Hang on. Hope you've braced yourselves for this. Whole roof gone. Don't tell me you don't like watching stuff like this. The horror. The horror. In places like this, it's just the beginnings, just the start of it. We ain't even got going yet. You want a sneaky view underneath? Come on then, let's have a look underneath. Just in case I run out of film time. Come on, under we go. Want to stay rolling? Okay, we'll stay rolling. Do that. Floor's warm. We can do that. Camera slowly moves underneath you. See, as you're right with me now, we're all here together on YouTube. And we're chucking out some transmission oil as well, I see. We're lucky to get this through Birmingham if that gearbox has developed a shaft seal leak probably. Right, I now take the camera, it's going to make a scrapey noise as it goes under. Don't you worry about that, let me do the worrying. Don't you be worrying that, don't you? In your armchairs at home worried. Just leave it to us, we'll sort it. There'll be no need to write in saying it's beyond repair. Some people inevitably are going to say it's had it, it's knackered, but we'll build a new shell, don't worry. We'll repair it. If it was absolutely gone, it would have fallen apart. So there's something still surviving. Now, there's that troublesome chassis fork. I'm looking. Sorry for going silent there because I'm looking. I'm trying to film with limited room for you. Right, we're going to pan round. Bear with us. That's the light scraping along the floor. You okay? You still with me there in YouTube land? Stay with us. It's okay. You're in good hands, Cortina City. I'm trying to keep that camera stable as well for you. I'm not seeing a horror story, guys. I'm not seeing an absolute ridiculous horror story where it's just, I mean, the floor pan's still up to the edge of the inner sill. It hasn't detached away from it, as I would have thought. And no doubt the floor pan's like a sieve, don't get me wrong. Once you start stripping that back, as it has started to attack it from the back, as soon as you start scraping, and it's when you find it. I don't know whether that's the tar or that's metal, that's paint coming off. Okay, I've gone this side. It's not ridiculous. I'm going to go for the transmission tunnel, guys. Light going in, and then I'm going to push the camera through. Hold on. You may be able to see more than I can because my arm is pushed under the car. Okay, we'll leave it there for that. What can you see? You tell me, or I'll have to see it when I play it back. You are under the car in Project Bramble, pretty cool film. If you've just joined us, welcome. We are inspecting the damage. Last on the road, 82, in a field, all that time. We are inspecting the damage. Right, we've been under that side. We're going to do a continuous take and go all the way around. Okay, you talked me into it. Let's do that. Cross, we saw that boot. Continuous take then. One long clip. Shock horror on the roof. No surprises. Roof and quarters straight away. Got 2 new door skins, got a new bonnet, got 2 new wings, got a brand new quarter, need one for the other side. I have got one off the red car. Got a new roof, 2-door roof ready, got a boot floor. So a lot of the panels I've already got, so we don't have to worry too much about panels, aren't going to concern me. Okay, we're on the other side of the chassis legs now. Let's see if this side's worse. This side's worse in terms of this hole through there. Common point where they go. And then it started to begin its process of breaking down the chassis. I would say this has had some kind of treatment in its life. Bitumen or something. Similar this side condition wise. This is just an initial, I'm not pushing or prodding, and that's when you start to find stuff, but I'm just seeing if it's actually began to just crumble on its own without anyone prodding it. It hasn't. Interesting. I'm surprised. Just ducking my head under now for you. It's better than I thought. I'm going to go look under the bottom of the boot chassis rails, see what they're like. Now that's surprisingly good. We found something that's actually good. Hold on guys, let's get you in on this. Have a look at that chassis leg there, that inner wing leg. We actually have got ourselves a very good inner wing. It's going to need a front repair. Look, it's holed through at the front, but to be fair, my green one was as bad as that hole. I know, let's point the camera inside, bear with me again. I know I keep saying that, but do please bear with me. It may not need inner wings. Even the jacking points were still there, but they're no good. It's tried. So bottom of the A panels, again a popular one to go. Top of the A panel, look. A panel top. Okay, right. You with me? This is Bramble. Now you just saw us going in here. Look, I'm trying to do a selfie stick. I don't really like doing selfie sticks, but sometimes that paint looks familiar. Right, A panel in there, just gone under there. Not that bad, you know, not ridiculous. It's not like all crumbling away. You know, I start tapping it with a hammer, then we're really going to know when we take the wings off and everything. But it isn't an absolute disaster like I thought it would be. I don't really know how it survived, but it has survived better than what it should have done anyway. Obviously it's still mega rough shell, but we've got something to go and we've got stuff to work with here. Okay, let's have a look at that bulkhead with a torch. Let's go under the engine bay now and have a look at that bulkhead. Right, engine bay. Okay, power plant, no problem. Nice early air filter, an MAN air filter. The early ones, MAN, they do filters. Not all air filters have that stamp on it, so that's an early one. It's a series 2 filter. Series 1 have 3 bolts, and then they go on to 4 with a man, then 4 without the man stamp logo. Okay, now then, I was just down that A panel, which is over here. So that's what I'm talking about with these chassis rails. Look at that inner chassis leg, just where the red cable kinks over in the circle there. Inner chassis leg. Normally, you got problems around there, even on what look like solid cars, and even some cars that are on the road. This place has rotted out. So look in here, which is all the cars that I've seen that have been scrapped have had a big hole right there, where there's a bit of overspray on that heater box, little orange patch there. To the right of that, the silver metal that you see, that's normally completely gone. On a very rotten car, you can push your hands through it. So I'm going to rest the torch on her and just going to have a look. I've never done this. I've peeked behind with a camera on the back of the heater box. I think we might have had the heater box out. I can't remember when I first got it. I don't think... No, I took the heater fan out. So not being in that. Look. Swampy's was worse than that. Now this line, look, let's get a cloth, actually. Hold on then, let's get a cloth. Wait a sec. Right, some geyser degreaser in a cloth in a little stainless bowl there. I might go get me gloves as well. We're going to wipe down and just draw down, then we'll vac up later on. It's going to mucky the floor up, but don't worry. We just go a little bit at a time as we go. Geyser's non-corrosive. Let's have a look to see if we're going to have to do a bulkhead. Don't really want to do a bulkhead. You're right with me, learning as much as I know. So we're sharing this together, this trip. Join me in the next 40 or 50 videos ahead of us, guys. The road is stretching out in front of us like one of those highways in America. You see the yellow lines painted on the road and the mountains in the distance, and we're on that long road. Okay, are you happy to be on it? Let me know what you think. Get some comments going, and don't forget the questions and answers, because I'm going to do a Q&A thing. Ask me anything that you want to do with the cars, please, and I'll do a 30 set of questions. Can be anything, as long as it's constructive and sensible. The odd jokey question I don't mind, as long as it's not those silly comments. Sometimes I delete. Okay. I mean, this is live. Wow. How about that? Come on, let's have a little party. Hey? You're kidding me. Oh, look at the inner wing support. They're normally rotted out. This is good news. This is good news. It's just less work. There's still tons and tons. I'm not trying to delude myself here, but it's good news because it's just one less job. If that did need metal welding in it, you've not got to start trying to reconstruct it. Even the lip seam's not gone as bad as it would normally on a car that's this rotten. So let's continue. We'll get a little stipple brush now, and we'll just brush out below the heater box, and we'll work our way back on this inner wing. We'll just see what it's like on the inner wings. That means that we've got some good solid structure to go for. And also, my mind's also asking what it's like around this area, because it's quite likely we've not escaped here, but you don't know until you start opening it up. I mean, I've seen a lot. Okay, you're joining us on the inner wing. I've got the LED torch overhead, cloth with some geyser on it, and stippling brush. We're just going to brush out and have a look. The reason I'm going for these areas first, just trying to see what the worst bits on the front end are going to be to do. Seeing that the camera's pointing that way, I'll concentrate the action there for you. Side of the battery tray, top of the inner wing, and top lip of the inner wing, behind that bonnet support, just brushing it down. Just so you can see the score. Okay, taking you round. Hold on. Let's get in that where those wires go. Edge of that clip. Some compressed air would be good actually. That just popped into my head, compressed air. I'll bring the compressor from work. They'll let me nick that, they're always using it. And I'm trying to be careful for you guys with the camera angles and the camera movement and motion, sound and lighting, because there's nothing worse than you get back and it's filmed wrong for you and for me. I'm afraid you're going to be hard pushed to convince me that it's in bad condition when you consider the state of the car. That's what I'm trying to say. In context is what I'm saying. In context of the car, with particular reference to the roof, you would expect this to be a horror story, and it isn't. I'm just at the top of the wing now, sorry. I'm dying for compressed air now, I've thought about it. And I've no idea why. How does the human mind work? But I've just had the craving for a Dalek ice lolly. I've no idea why. You can't even get Dalek ice lollies anymore. But I want a Dalek ice lolly. And I don't know why. Okay. Moving back a little bit now for you. Moving back. Are you okay on a continuous roll here? Are you not getting too bored? Let me know if you want the clips shorter. Don't be shy about that. That's constructive. Or are you glued to your sets? I don't know. Let me know what you think, please. So all we're doing is looking for massive rot areas on the hard to do inner wings. Now moving to the side of the battery. Looking good so far. Jies are going on. 2 up front, 2 in the box. Jies are going on. Looking good so far. Cloth coming round on the outside. Gonna give you a break while I... Okay, with a little bit of hoovering, vacuuming, wiping down, I can reveal good things, guys. I think this car's got look written on it. I would say a close escape for Bramble. Not much longer out in the elements. For some reason, it's a survivor. That bulkhead panel, the bolts just undid, they weren't even rusted in, they just came straight out. And look behind there. It survived where they normally hold through. Starting, it's having a go, but it hasn't gone through. It's not like big punch holes in it. That's good. This is an original wing. Look, Silver Fox. Still running on its original wing. Although it's knackered, but Silver Fox wing. Slam panel. Some pitting on it. It could repair. Again, not rotted. Patches. We'll have to do something with that. Hold at the ends as they always do. We could do something with the slam panel. Inner wings. Surface rust on the inner wings. Nothing poking through. Lower down. Cross member, anti-roll bar, still bracket attached. Gone lower down though. So some repairs to do on it, but all in all, not a bad start for Project Bramble's engine bay. We could well be looking at saving that entire engine bay and bulkhead without having to do a hell of a lot of work. Lucky, because that saves time. Front inner cross member, always go. That'll have gone. We have to get that in, but we've got something to work with. We've got metal to work with. We've got structure, shape. Nothing's distorted or crumbled inwards or anything like that. So we've got the dimensions to go off. Also, a good bonus thing is what we have as well, just over here, if we need them. Bit of a Bible, this is the chassis dimensions and specs for the car. It gives us all the dimensions that we need if we're doing any rebuild work. So we can go off these measurements as well when we're doing the chassis to make sure it's all exactly right if there's any big chassis work goes on. Drawing to an end now this prequel clip. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have making my first initial inspections. I've never touched the car because it was used to go into shows as a barn find, field find, whatever you want to call it. That word barn find's overused. Field find, whatever, and I wanted to keep all the rust, the brambles, the weeds and the moss all over it because it just made more impact at the show. But now, for the first time, I've started to clean it back, and engine bay is good. So that's a good thing. We don't worry about the wings because they're bolt on. We start to move back in later videos coming up soon, mid-March, and we'll pull the carpets out and we'll see what the floor pans are like. Looking underneath though, you saw that clip, me crawling underneath, are not ridiculous, but it's early days. There could be a lot more damage than we know about. However, what I'm trying to tell you is it's not breaking its back. Roof's big job, so's the floor, boot floor. But that's all part of it. That is why it's a resto. That's why it's Project Bramble. That's what we're here for. That makes it fun. Metal work I like. It's good fun. Welding's the most rewarding thing of all, I think, in a car resto. So we're going to make as neat a job as we can do. I'll do my best for you. I'm sure I'll learn and pick up new tips along the way. But this gives me something positive to go on. We hope you enjoyed this clip. Look out for updates soon. Subscribe if you've not. That helps the channel, by the way. And also giving us some good comments helps the channel. We're just trying to keep it going. It is difficult sometimes for me to do all of this. So appreciate your support. I'll see you at the NEC in March. We're going to be there with Ruby. Okay, so if I don't upload anything, I'll see you in March 23rd. There'll be another video before then, I'm sure. But we'll look forward to seeing you all. Mine's a pint of lager, not bottled, draft. Okay, or unless it's Peroni, I don't mind that. Bring us a beer. I'll see you at the NEC. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you soon. Little clip in a minute of the two together. Let's get Bramble dried out. Temperature in here is 19 degrees, so we're warm. Okay. Thanks a lot again. I know I said it before, but I really appreciate your support. Keeps me going. Over and out. Cortina City again with another video. Over and out. This is Pete C. Cortina City. OCD to the max. Let's go. Good night. Safely in the stable, guys. Good night. Let that Bramble dry out now. Brilliant. I've got to get these while it's still light, you see. Oh no, it's full of mushrooms. Shit.
That's the perfect song.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What else have we got? We've got brambles. These are the original brambles.
Oh, I do like brambles.
Look, how can you like brambles?
Oh, I love brambles. I love
They
eating them.
sting you. Shall we try it?
Yeah, go on.
I mean, it looks rough, doesn't it?
No, it's alright. It's not as rough as I've seen.
Do you like what we've done with the place? Oh,
Oh,
no.
give it a bit of gas.
Ooh! Just wanna die.
When you bought that, have you had the engine done? You must have done.
No,
That was like that.
it was like that.